Hello everybody, my name is Mama Stone. Welcome back to Kitchen Camp or Camp Kitchen?
Camp Kitchen.
Welcome back to Camp Kitchen. I'm Mama Stone, I'm gonna say that twice. And Hannah Cook is my boss. She's a good boss too. So sweet, she came up with some good recipes this summer. I'm so happy to be working in this kitchen. This is my 9th summer here at KAA. I started off at Camp 1 and I came in as a cook. Oh, I loved it. And now I have moved up to a kitchen manager. Do you see my superwoman pose? Okay, now what we're going to do today is we're gonna make some grits. I've heard people love grits. They eat them any kind of way. Some people love them with sugar, salt, pepper, eggs. I like mine with over easy eggs, but today I'm just gonna make them plain. So my first ingredient is going to be water. I have to walk over to the sink and get some water. I have 3 quarts of water I'm going to pour in this pot. Okay, so here we go. I'm pouring 3 quarts of water in my pot. I'm going to add my whole stick of butter because it's more of a stick of butter, 4 sticks of butter. But I'm gonna put that in because we like our grits to be buttery here at KAA because it puts a lot of meat on the bones. And I put that in the water. I'm also going to put a tablespoon of salt in my water because the salt is going to help the water boil faster, level it off. It's going to help it boil faster, plus give the water a salty taste because you want your grits to be seasoned well. So now I need to go and put this on the fire. I'm putting my water on the stove. I'm going to turn up my flame pretty high because I want it to boil. Watching a boiling pot is terrible, so do not watch it boil. It will take forever for this pot to boil when you're watching it. So we're just gonna leave that for a little while until it begins to roar, boil. We want it bubbling, bubbly, bubbly. So I'm gonna go back to my station now. All right, good job. Because if we let this boil over, we will have fire because butter and water makes a fire on the stove. So I have to turn my heat down. But we have a roaring boil with the salt and butter. And as I'm pouring in the grits, I am stirring while I pour. That is very, very important to stir while you pour because you don't want any lumps in your grits. Some people dump the whole thing in there and then stir, and then they have lumps. And then they gotta learn how to work the lumps out. That's almost like serving the Lord. Some people want to run in and serve Jesus and think that they don't have to clean up their life and they can pretend, but they have a lot of lumps and bumps. So God has to come in and gently stir us around to change our hearts. And He helps get rid of the lumps and bumps. So I'm stirring my grits. And as I'm stirring, the water is beginning to thicken, or I should say the grits are beginning to thicken in the water. And so I feel it thickening. Okay? And I just stir a little bit until I really feel the consistency that I'm looking for. And I turn my flame down because I don't want it to stick to the pot. So it's doing pretty good. Take my top off the paprika. I just want maybe a half of a teaspoon. This is a tablespoon in my hand. I put in a tablespoon of salt, but now I'm gonna put in just maybe half of a teaspoon of paprika in there, maybe less than that. And I'm just gonna sprinkle that around on the grits. And we clean as we go. because that way you have less mess to clean up. And then you stir. And then I just stir it. I'm gonna cut the fire off now because my grits are to the nice consistency that I like them at. And I'm just kind of stirring it up. I'm mixing in the paprika. As you can see, the paprika is beginning to mix up in the grits. You see the thick consistency? When I hold up my whisk, you can see the thickness. And that's what we're looking for in grits. Now let's just say I got them too thick, if I did. Then I just take a cup of water and I pour it in there to thin it out. But that's a good consistency. So they're getting a little thick. So I think I'm gonna add just a little more water. So I'm gonna get my measuring cup here, walking over to my sink. Getting a little more water to stir in my already cooked grits. Just a little bit at a time so I can gauge how thin out I want them. Not too much, but just a little bit. A little more water. Set that over there. Just kind of stir it up gently. Some people have added garlic powder in the grits. I don't like mine with garlic powder. I just like the salt and the butter and a little bit of paprika. And there I have my grits.